Hello, and welcome to the Student Finance module. The Office of Student Finance is here to help you determine how to fund your education. Some of the items that we will be reviewing today are our payment options, like payment plans and the NLU promissory note, different types of financial aid, student loans, scholarships, what happens if you're selected for verification or have other missing documentation, and your financial aid notification letter. We will also be reviewing the satisfactory academic progress policy and how that can impact your eligibility for financial aid. First, we're going to talk about financial aid. So what is financial aid? Financial aid is money that can be used towards funding your education. It can be provided from a variety of sources, such as the federal government, the state that you live in, from private institutions, or from school-funded scholarships. There are many options to help you finance your education, and by using a combination of these options, you can cover most of all of your tuition and fees. For example, we have scholarships listed, such as our Lewis and Baker Scholarship, our Alumni Scholarship. We have a scholarship for military-connected students. We work very closely with Dream US, and we have a variety of merit-based scholarships that you are eligible to apply for each year. Next is grants. Grant is actually money that you do not have to pay back. It's gift money from either your state or from the federal government. So for example, we have the Pell and SEOG grant. We have the MAP grant for students who are residents of Illinois, and the eligibility is determined by the information that you put on your FAFSA. We also have work study jobs here on campus. So work study provides part-time jobs for eligible students. It includes both on and off campus jobs. You work for the school and in return the school pays you a paycheck that you can apply towards your tuition and fees. And you must be eligible for federal financial aid. Next, we have student loans. So we have the direct Stafford student loan, the Parent Plus student loan, and both of those must be paid back once you graduate or drop less than half time. You have 6 months to start repaying those loans because the Department of Education understands that you have to go find a job, get settled, figure out a budget. And so they give you that 6 months to kind of figure out how you're going to start paying those loans back. And once you do go into repayment, they have a variety of payment options available depending on your situation. All right, the financial aid process at NLU. So what you're going to do first is complete the 2021-2022 FAFSA. If you plan on using financial aid to fund your education, you must complete this step first. And you also must add the NLU school code of 001733. That school code is how we actually get the FAFSA information sent to us after you submit. Next, if you are selected for verification or you have any other missing documentation, you are notified via your student email if you have been selected and must submit required documentation to determine your financial aid eligibility. So continuously check your student email for notification in case we need additional documentation from you. And last, after all that documentation is going to be submitted and reviewed and you are fully admitted, we will send you a finalized financial aid notification letter outlining any next steps as well as your financial aid eligibility for the year. After you've been fully admitted to NLU and have completed any missing documentation, we will send you a financial aid notification letter. And some of that information on that letter is the tuition and fees for the academic year, any grants you are eligible for, including MAP, Pell, and SEOG, any student loans you may want to borrow to cover any out-of-pocket expense not covered by grants, and any next steps to finalize your financial aid package. Just as a reminder, all financial aid information is sent to the student email address. I'm going to talk about scholarships. Scholarships come from a variety of sources, such as institutional or outside scholarships. So first, institutional scholarships, funds that do not have to be repaid. It may be need-based, merit-based, or both, and typically require an application and supplemental documentation to be reviewed and awarded. Dream.US, National Louis University is a partner school of Dream.US, an organization that provides scholarships for DACA students, and we work very closely with them every year to work with their recipients. And then outside scholarships. Outside scholarships can come from a business, church, community organization, etc. Funds do not need to be paid back, and they have a variety of scholarship resources. So for example, it could be because you have maybe played a specific sport, maybe it's an academic scholarship, maybe it's because you're left-handed, or maybe because you're tall. They have scholarships available for all different types of things, and I encourage everybody to do their research. Institutional scholarships, a student can apply for a variety of donor-funded scholarships based on program, GPA, and some other academic information. And a full list can be found on the NLU scholarship page, which is listed here. You can also find it by just searching scholarships on the homepage. Dream.us, so you must have a high school GPA of 2.5 or higher, no earned college credit, and be accepted or enrolled full-time for the next academic year. And then, as I mentioned, outside scholarships. So students can also search for a variety of scholarships using the scholarship search engines below. I've listed 4 here. All of these are kind of like a Google for just scholarships. And instead of going to each individual website or each individual scholarship type, they compile all the scholarships, and you can actually search based on if you are, like I said, left-handed, maybe you play basketball, etc. So it really helps kind of refine the search so you're not spending hours and hours looking at individual websites. Payment plans and billing. So every student will get a bill from NLU, and if you are using a payment plan instead of financial aid, we can walk through some of those options for you. NLU offers a variety of payment plans in order to make college more affordable. So the first is going to be term by term, and what that means simply is that you're paying out of pocket each term at the beginning of the term for all of the tuition and fees. If you would like to defer your tuition, meaning you would like to divide that tuition and fee amount up by 3, you can select that plan, and there is a $25 setup fee, and then you would pay 3 times monthly so that by the end of the term, all your tuition and fees would be paid in full. We also have a direct bill payment plan, and what that is, if you work for an employer that maybe wants to pay us directly for tuition and fees because you have that as part of one of your benefits at your job, we can actually bill your employer directly. They pay us directly, and you don't have to worry about getting involved. If you work for an employer that does want to pay your tuition and fees, but maybe they want to see a grade or at least that you completed the class and they have more of a tuition reimbursement plan, then you can select this option. There is a $25 setup fee, and it's for students who work for an employer who want to pay the student directly, and then the student turns around and pays us. You have a 30-day window after the term ends to pay those tuition and fees, because we understand that many times you have to get your employer your grade or a transcript in order to be eligible. Financial aid, which we've already talked about, is always an option for students. And then military benefits. If you are an active duty service member, a veteran, or a family member that is eligible for benefits, we work very closely with the Department of Veterans Affairs to certify those benefits and make sure that you are covered with your benefit. The National Louis University Promissory Note will let us know how you're funding your education, as well as your rights and responsibilities as a student. Please visit the student account section under the tuition and fees page on the NLU website for more information and to sign the promissory note. All right, billing information. So National Louis partners with Nelnet Business Solutions to provide billing statements each month. Items listed on the bill will include your current tuition, your current fees, any past due balance you might have, anticipated financial aid scholarships and discounts, and any anticipated refund. Bills are sent to the student on the 15th of every month, even if the balance has been paid or will be paid by a third party. Bills are also a point-in-time reflection of your account and are not updated in real time. You can actually review your account in real time via the student portal, but that bill is a snapshot in time and will not update until the bill is run again the next month. An email will be sent to your student email when your bill is ready to view. The email will be sent from Nelnet and will advise you that your bill is available and what your current balance is. So for example, here we have a student who has an amount due of $2,730 and the due date of that bill, which is going to be November 30th of 2020. It does not give you any other information. We want to make sure that we maintain privacy, but we do ask you to log in and check that bill in case you have any questions about the amount. Remember, even if you have paid, you will get this notification, and many times your balance might be 0. So just keep that in mind, that if you get the bill monthly, do not panic. It does not mean your bill has not been paid. It's just a monthly billing cycle that we cannot avoid. Here's an example of the bill. So for example, this student has a past due balance of 0. You can see fall 2020 tuition and fees listed. You can also see federal Pell Grant and anticipated aid, scholarships, etc. And that just shows what will be posting for the student. That is money that will post when the financial aid starts posting for the term. And then that is taken consideration when the total amount due is calculated. So for example, if you look to the top left right here, you can see the total amount is 0. and that the credit balance anticipated is $60. That means that after all of the financial aid has been applied to the student's account, the refund due to the student is going to be $60. And that's because there is an overage of the Pell, the grant, etc., over tuition and fees. Students can view and pay their bills, set up a payment plan or direct deposit, and see their balance in real time by accessing their Nelnet account through their student portal. So what you will do is you will log into your portal, you will go to the My Services section, and then you will navigate to the payment portal. And that will show you this screen right here. It'll show you your payment activity. It'll show your current balance. It will show any refunds you have anticipated. It will give you the option under the Manage Refunds section to set up direct deposit. And it will also show you if you have any payment plan payments pending. Satisfactory academic progress. So what is that? We're going to review that today. And just to make sure that all students are aware that the Office of Financial Aid is required by federal and state regulations to determine if students receiving financial aid are making satisfactory academic progress, or what we call SAP, each term. To meet SAP requirements, you must meet all three of the components. So the first you're going to need to meet is the PACE component. PACE is the rate at which a student is progressing towards program completion. Students must receive passing grades listed here and at least 67% of all credits attempted. So as you withdraw from classes, that actually impacts the PACE and the progress that you are making towards program completion. Next, you're going to have to maintain a GPA, which is 2.0 for an undergrad student or a 3.0 for a graduate student. And then third is going to be maximum time frame. So a student is eligible to receive financial aid after they have attempted 150% of the credit hours required to complete the degree program. For an example, an undergraduate student enrolled in a 180-hour degree program is allowed 270 hours to complete the program. So again, those withdrawn classes really impact your PACE as well as your maximum. So what can you do if you're worried about not meeting SAP and using financial aid? Talk to your coach or your academic advisor. Let them know that you are concerned about your grades and see what options may be available to help you raise your grades, such as tutoring, study tables, etc. Talk to your student finance representative to discuss options you have if you do become ineligible for financial aid, and appeal your status. So students on SAP suspension may appeal their status by submitting a written statement and supporting documentation of any circumstances that may have impacted their academic performance in a certain term. For example, maybe you had to drop all your classes due to an illness or a death in the family. Maybe you had to take more hours at work because somebody else in your house lost their job. So there's a lot of different extenuating circumstances that would be eligible, and you can work with your academic advisor on that appeal. Students are only allowed one appeal in their lifetime at NLU. All right, that concludes our presentation for today. Here is our contact information. Normally when we're on campus, we are very happy to see you at both our Chicago and Wheeling locations. Our phone number is 847-947-5350, and our email is studentfinance@nl.edu. If you want to call us, anybody who answers the phone can help us. And if you want to email us, we will get back to you within 48 hours. Thank you all for joining today, and I hope you have a great day.